I'm Scot Ackerman, a radiation oncologist with First Coast Oncology. Our practice began in 1980 and I joined it in the late 80s. We began as a single office practice that was hospital-based, providing radiation oncology services to patients. In the mid-90s, our practice grew and we expanded by building 2 additional offices. And right now we're a 3-physician group treating patients in all 3 of those offices. I was introduced to Heritage by one of my financial advisors, and I had interviewed and worked with other investment bankers recently and in the past. And I found the depth of knowledge and the breadth of knowledge that both Bill Nicholson and Mike Case had to be extraordinary. And their background, the work they've done with others, was impressive to me. But that was just the start. It was really after working with them for a few months that I found that they brought new novel ideas and new novel solutions to my financing needs. Our project is expanding our practice to provide proton radiation therapy to our patients. The 3 elements that Heritage helped me with to realize the vision of proton therapy is: number 1, provide financing for the building expansion. Number 2, provide financing for the proton therapy equipment. And number 3, to look at our existing equipment financing and restructure that in such a way that we had the proper cash flow to take care of the first and second component. Well, Heritage brings a different perspective to a medical practice than others do. Heritage has experience with a diverse group of companies that are dissimilar to mine in many ways, but similar in that they're about the same size. And so they have a different perspective because they're not just focused on medical. And that perspective has allowed us to acquire real estate, to build buildings, and also to acquire equipment that we otherwise would have had challenges acquiring. What I valued with Heritage was the time they took to really understand my practice and the business of my practice. Bill and Mike really studied it. They did a lot of research about radiation oncology and what best practices are. And then they brought to me their experience with what they researched, and that was very helpful to me in that they were able to speak my language and understand the challenges I was dealing with. What I found after working with Mike and Bill for a few months is that they had not only transactional experience, but they had operational experience as well. So they could relate to the issues that I was dealing with, not just with financing, but the day-to-day issues of the practice, and how those day-to-day issues relate to our financing needs and financing challenges. I worked with other advisors and other investment bankers in the past, and one thing I found with Heritage was that they didn't have a specific product that they were looking to push. They were looking out for my best interest by shopping around my project to a whole multitude of lenders to find the best deal for me. They took my project and packaged it in such a way to make it easy for lenders to understand. They were able to do it in a way that I could never do because I don't understand that whole aspect of the business. I'm a physician, I understand medicine, I understand some business, I can run my practice, but they speak the language of the financing world. And they could take my project, package it up in a way, and be able to shop it around to different lenders in a very efficient way that I never could do.